We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Kader Kohou, Miami Dolphins corner. Number 4 right here at the bottom of the screen, and I think this was his best game of the season by far. There's actually, I feel like a running theme in this game is some of the players who have been struggling throughout the season had, really solid, good games versus New England. Kohou got to play a little more man-to-man, I feel like, than usual in this game, especially on the outside. Usually, he's definitely better as a nickel guy, can play more zone or man there too, but playing man-to-man, he just looks way more comfortable in coverage. And then when he plays zone, he does a great job, playing downhill against those types of things. This one was the only missed tackle he had. I mean, it was a 1-yard gain. Just unfortunately, they only needed 1 yard to gain the first down. But he was playing. I feel like versus New England, they were without Phillips, they wanted to bring more pressure, and they decided, to bring different types of more blitzes than usual. So they decided to play more man-to-man on the backside. I think that just fits a lot of the Dolphins' defender skill set, specifically Kohou. He's definitely more comfortable in man-to-man throughout his career. He was not afraid, especially versus Jalen Polk. He had a good game versus Polk, who was he's a rookie, second-round guy. And Kohou was sticky in coverage throughout the game on him. Played with good technique. He just looks much more comfortable in these types of situations, which is nice to see him getting back to because his rookie season was definitely his best year for Kohou because they got to play more man-to-man under Brian Flores. So nice to see that, and even had good zone reps in this game. Has always been a strong downhill player versus screens and swings. That's always been his biggest skill set. But for him to play with good coverage ability, this one he gets called for holding. It was kind of a weak call, but I mean I understand why they called it. But still staying in a good spot, and he was getting targeted throughout the game. I think overall liked what I saw from Kader. If Kader, I made a video on Robert Jones yesterday. It was his best game of the season. If Kader's able to play better ball like this, just more catering to his skill set, that would be great. Because I know Ramsey and Fuller can pretty much do anything versatility wise. So if they want to do more man to man, or just leave him on you can still run zone, but leave him in a situation where he's obviously just gonna be matched up 1-on-1. This is really textbook coverage 1-on-1 to the boundary, which is interesting. He's on the backs of a 3x1. Dolphins are running basically a quarter half type look. Leaves Kohou isolated to the backside on Jalen Polk. He stays patient. He just stays square. He's gaining depth. And then once Polk commits to the outside, boom, open up your hips. Get that inside hand to the correct position. He didn't shoot the outside hand, which would lock your hips. So he's playing with good leverage, good understanding right there. He's playing with good feel. And now he's squeezing toward the sideline. He sees Polk start to look for the ball. And with him in a position, he can clearly, he doesn't have to turn in. He's kind of even with him. So he can either turn into the receiver or away. And this was the difference between last week when he got that PI versus the Titans in man-to-man. He had great coverage, but this time he's able to turn and locate the ball, almost able to come down with an interception. This is textbook perfect man-to-man coverage. So got to give credit where credit is due, because Kohou was struggling throughout the other games for sure. Was one of your weaker links out there. I still think Jordan Poyer was the worst player on the defense. Nice to see Marcus May out there, but I do think Kohou can still give you some good reps. He's got there's situations where he plays good football, but he's been put in spots where he doesn't play as well. But when he was able to just match up 1-on-1, whether it was man coverage or just a zone where he basically understands he's gonna match this guy. Here he's showing he's gonna open up his hips, bail, but he gets on him, stays square, stays patient, sees Polk break into the inside. Number 2 works the inside, so he has nothing else to be worried about here. So he knows he can squeeze number 1, because it looks they're playing a cover 2 to the bottom. You got the deep half safety. He's a flat defender, but instead of just staying in the flat, he squeezes this. Brissett's reading the linebacker. The linebacker squeezes number 3, which Jordan Brooks is actually in a good spot on the receiver, but if he squeezes there, he's going to throw this backside slant behind it, and Kohou is just in the perfect position to fight and knock that out. Love how competitive he was playing with in covers this week. Got to give him credit. And then underneath, this is one of his biggest strengths. I mean, usually it's versus screens. Here it's just it's a quick check down, and he had that missed tackle that I showed. It's gonna be showed in a little bit. I showed it earlier on, but it's after these 2 tackle clips. These were made after that, so he clearly made an adjustment. Identifies it. He's a flat defender here, and then he closes so fast, just takes out the legs. It's a huge loss, just a huge play down in the red zone. Making an open field tackle like this with that much space is really, really impressive. Here's another example of him doing this. This time on it's another 3rd and short. This is where he makes the adjustment again. Him and Brooks make a great tackle on Stevenson to keep him short of the line to gain. Really, really good job rallying to the football there. yeah, just overall, this is always been a pretty big strength, I think, of Kohou's game. Like, obviously, missed tackles are going to happen. It's very difficult to continuously make open field tackles like that consistently. Like, here's another example. This was the one he missed. It's a 3rd and 1. It was just a quick check down. Like, he actually makes a good play to recognize it. He closes the space very fast. I think he plays with good closing burst. He tries to break down, square him up. Stevenson is a tough guy to tackle, and with all this room to work with, like, him to just be able to slow him down just enough. I mean, if these guys were able to rally just a little bit faster, that would have been nice too. But he just barely gets the first down, and then it led to the touchdown right after that. So, like, obviously, you want to see him, make this type of play a little bit of a, you know, in that situation. But it's a tough ask. Like, I don't think people really, it's one of the tougher asks in football to continuously do that. And something I would say is a strength of Kohou's game when usually, I think he can struggle to locate the ball. Like I showed him locating the ball earlier, but that's not usually a strength of his. Not the most aware in zone. But when he was in man, he was getting isolated a lot. Like he was isolated one-on-one on the backside many of times. He's usually a nickel corner, but they decided to have Ramsey play the nickel. They left Kohou one-on-one with Jalen Polk, a couple other guys, but Polk one-on-one doesn't allow any separation. Ball doesn't come his way. Just in the hip pocket, playing with good technique, good patience, staying square, all that goodness. I loved this too at the line of scrimmage, mixing up your techniques. He's playing press. He shows like a fake press there. Like, look how his first step is forward, boom, fake press. This just throws off the timing. You don't even have to get hands on. Like, I love mixing it up where like you're gonna get hands on. Sometimes you're gonna, gain a little bit of depth, stay square, play with more of like a soft press, mirror motor technique. Here he shows like a fake jab with his feet to freeze the receiver, and now with his look that he's taken this inside path, and you're just staying on top of it the whole time. That is not being taken. It's a 3rd and 5. It gets completed to their side, but he's isolated again on the backside, playing with like extra confidence here. So that's what I love to see out of Kohou. Clearly feels much more confident in man-to-man. Even playing on the outside, he feels more confident with those types of those reps, those plays. Those are, definitely in his wheelhouse. Another rep, backside. I'm surprised the ball isn't even trying to go there. I feel like if Brissett is going one-on-one, he probably should try to go to the backside. They're playing cover 1 pressure. Like they brought a lot of cover 1 pressure. Here, Polk quick releases. Kohou opens up his hips right away. So usually like he's got his release the inside, what he wants. But Kohou's able to, close the space pretty quickly and then, understand the situation. Like he's probably going to, break at the sticks or sit this down, and he stays step for step with him, match him on that type of play. Another example of Kader feeling much more comfortable in the man-to-man situations here, and like the off coverage, boom, feet, trying to change direction. Keyshawn, I think that's Keyshawn Butte. Close ground, stick with it. They try to work off script so he can like play from depth. They're playing in like a, looks like a 1 robber type situation because everyone's playing man-to-man or it's 1 rat actually because the linebacker's ratting underneath, not a safety. But he's matching, boom, sticks with it, just multiple good reps with good coverage. Here's a good zone rep actually where they go, this was the almost touchdown, but if you just watch Kohou on this play, he understands like he's the flat defender here. They're playing a cover 2 down in the red zone. He's like, they're running smash to this side, but he sees like this smash defender, the number 1. He doesn't quite get down out into the flat, so he knows he can match this. So he can just, boom, gain depth and help take away this corner route. Because if he doesn't gain depth and he closes on, underneath here, but just being able to leverage kind of both of them, understand the situation, boom, get back, take away that throw, the tight end that never is there. That's just good zone awareness, situational awareness, understanding your job, responsibilities. Thank God it ended up being a touchdown. But Kohou just continuously making good plays, good anticipation one-on-one. Versus tight end here, they switch this off because like pre-snap it looks like he might be man-to-man on this receiver. The tight end works up onto him instantly. Him and May are able to pass this off very, very quickly. Good work. And like this is, once also good play by May here to get over the top to the outside. Like that's just really good job. Instant communication to pass this off. So like feeling comfortable, finding whoever becomes the new number 2. Kohou finds the new number 1. And like this is like them trying to get away with this. But May is actually still able to get back to the outside of it. Kohou is anticipating, is able to break on that very, very quickly. Overall, good stuff. This was the last play. This was like the 1 penalty he got in the game where Dolphins go into a cover 3. They've actually been playing a lot of cover 3. I think they run that coverage more than any other coverage. They run cover 1 a decent amount too. But like he actually does a good job of them, like him trying to break over the middle. He actually closes on it. Polk just tries to work out of it because right here, he's in a good spot because this is the route instantly. It's a play action, hit on an in breaker, but Kohou's able to take that away. He sees that, that's not there. Polk tries to change directions and then throw it. Brissett resets his feet. Unfortunately, Kohou just hooks him right there when he tries to change direction. So, but overall, just a really good game from Kader. Definitely got to give him and some of the other players some credit for stepping up in this type of game, getting a win. I think that's definitely huge. Hopefully, it can at least somewhat continue throughout the season. I don't know if I expect it to, but uh, definitely played a solid good game. So if you guys are doing, like, subscribe.